Hello there, my friends. How are you guys all doing today? My name is Rabbit, and thank you so very much for joining me for episode number 15 of Let's Semi-Blindly Play Through Eternal Eyes for the PlayStation 1. In our last episode, we began making our way through Gross Kingdom's castle. We knocked out the ground floor. It really wasn't that bad. We, I guess, had to fight some of the old soldiers who decided to participate in Vorlus's rebellion, as well as some random puppets that I'm not sure where they came from, but it does kind of confirm that there is some level of magical shenanigans that are going down. So with all of that out of the way, what do you guys say we just dive into the first floor? If we're lucky, these fights should just like roll on past rather quickly, and I'm guessing we don't have too deep of a crawl before we should either find the princess or find the source of what's happening here and who might be holding her hostage. But okay, y'all already know that pumpkin caught my eye and distracted me for a second there while I was talking. So we gotta just look at everyone here. So this is like a knight of some kind. It's called Crusher. Ooh, the ladies must love him. And we've also got a very disturbing looking pumpkin, Mad Pumpkin. I wonder if this is what Pumpkinhead eventually turns into. He's got Bolt and Mets. Interesting. Okay. So more sudden death bullshit. Probably killing them first. And we've got, it's like a griffin cat? What is this? Evil cat. It's so cute. Wave throws an SW, medium amount of damage results. I wonder if that's an AoE ability. And then Kamal, which we have ourselves, so no need to take a look at that. Okay, is that it? So a few enemies here. We've got 4 of the knights, 2 pumpkins, and 2 of these. So, 8 people to take out. What do you say? We get started. I think we're going to divide and conquer. So I swapped out equipment on some folks. We did get some fairly decent drops. So unfortunately, what that means is Luke now has to get like right up into the faces of our enemies rather than kind of hanging towards the back and just firing arrows at a distance. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we're gonna make the most out of it, y'all. I'm gonna send you over here, and we're gonna try being the operative word here to, I want to do big damage. That's what I want. I need to start paying attention to this. Again, what the hell does AP do? I don't remember. Blah, blah, blah. Small, small, small. Same effect as hammer. I don't know if hammer does small damage, but whatever. We're just gonna bring it out and see if we can kill him from here. When he got damaged, did it give me an innocent, cute face? That was so adorable. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna send some backup for Luke because not sure that he is going to be able to take care of this on his own. I just don't really think it's gonna happen. So we'll try to kill this guy and we'll just go through the motions, especially because there's 4 of them kind of going up these, I wouldn't call them stairs, but at least up this path. If we can send 1 puppet to the left-hand side to take out the 2 pumpkins, and then 1 to the right-hand side to take out the 2, what are they called? Evil cats? Wild cats? Something like that. They really look like griffins to me, but I think that'll be the goal then. We'll, divide and conquer. And so as for me personally, I was sharing with you guys my, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to eventually get up there. I was sharing with you guys my tail. I mean, it's not really a tail, but god damn it, that is so weird to me. Cure. It said that, so we had learned Cure on someone, and then obviously we have the green version of that called Lantern. It said that it restores MP, but that doesn't sound correct to me. I'm guessing it meant that it restores your... All of these are small? Really? I'm guessing that it actually restores HP, and it is a typo. I mean, who would have thought? This game littered with typos? I don't believe it. But anyway, so continuing my story about Lucy, I presented to you guys sort of a backstory to who she is, kind of how our relationship developed, kind of what her reputation has been, and then I was leading into, I guess, more of her habits and sort of how her visit even started in terms of her wanting to come see me. So where we had kind of left off on that tale is I told you that she which I think it's a bit presumptuous, even though, you know, I was known whenever she and I would go out to eat, I would always cover for her just because she did seem to struggle a little bit with her finances, although again, I still think it's bizarre because she made about the same as I did. And again, it's not like we made like buku bucks, like we're not doctors or I guess I wouldn't even say professors don't even make that much. But, you know, it's not like we're lawyers or surgeons, you know, like we work in education. And she specifically was a part of the organization as a social worker. So she definitely wasn't making a whole lot of money, but she did a lot of like the project development and a lot of project oversight. So I wouldn't say she also was getting like a manager boost to her income, but she was making a decent amount of cash is all I'm saying. Like, it's not like she was an entry-level social worker that is working for DSS or working for a nonprofit and barely scraping by. Like, she had a very comfortable salary. So, you know, even with that in mind and the fact that she was making that, I still tried not to care that much. You know, I understand that different people, they manage their money in different ways. And hold on, bro, where are you at? 105. You're at 58. I feel like I can get these 3 with temp. I can actually probably get a few people with temp. So let me lower where he's at so that maybe we can kill more folks as we just kind of go. Oh God, that face when it gets damaged is just too cute. I'm gonna still hang tight though. I don't feel comfortable moving right now. And we will get out our temp freeze dash. Interesting. Okay. And we should, I think that gets all of it. Yes, it does. This is wild. I think this is the most number of enemies that we've had from an AoE in terms of what I've cast. That's 4 of them in one go, so I love that. Anyway, so I think I had kind of done a poor job as her friend in enabling some of her bad habits because I didn't correct certain things and I would just always cop the bill for other things. I don't know. I just, like I said, I try not to judge people too much, and I feel bad when I hear like their sob stories or they complain or whine to me. I don't know. I'm probably too much of a pussy, and for her in particular, I probably should have drawn the line in the sand a little earlier, but I didn't. So she, you know, asked something that I had reiterated earlier, that, you know, if she came and she visited me, I would be fine with covering the food while she's here, not just the food in the house, but if we went out to eat, I would pay for that. I would pay for any sorts of like trip-related expenses. So if we decided to go, I don't know, like zip lining or go on a cave tour, I would pay for those sorts of things, which in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have even offered that. I think letting her stay in my house instead of getting like a hotel or Airbnb, I wouldn't say that's generous of me, but that already takes off a cost, and she's taking a vacation. And also me providing food for her, and Andrew and I like cooked for her, and anyway. So she asked me again to confirm that I was going to pay for everything, which that in and of itself wasn't a problem. I was like, yeah, just buy your ticket to come. So she waited another week, and I hadn't heard anything, so I had just sent her a text, and I was like, hey, just want an ETA on what's going on. Like, are you still planning on coming? Like, when are you thinking about getting here? Like, what's the sitch, girlfriend? So she revealed to me that she had kind of made a mistake and waited a little too long to buy her ticket because I guess she had a specific week already kind of taken off for vacation time, and it was a little unfortunate now that she was going to have to just rush and get a ticket. And I think we all know how that goes, where the earlier you book your flight, the better it is for you in the long run, and the cheaper the flight will be, unless you just get some kind of amazing deal. That's just sort of how the cookie crumbles. That in and of itself is not a novel concept. So she revealed to me, oh, you know, I kind of like pissed around and I made a mistake. So the ticket that she wanted to buy, the cheaper one, it was going to save her about $75, but it was going to be a 3-hour drive for me to pick her up. I'm not even exaggerating. So the original ticket that when we had first discussed her coming, it was only going to be like an hour and 15 minutes for Andrew and I to drive to get her. That's where the nearest airport is from where Andrew and I live. So let's just say an hour and a half if traffic's bad, but that's nothing. So an hour and a half to go get her. And that was what we had kind of discussed. And I said, yeah, I'll come pick you up. Like, again, you don't have to reimburse me for gas. I'm not going to make you take a taxi or a bus. Like, you just fucking buy your shit and I will cover the cost, the time, the wear on my fucking car to come get your ass from an hour and a half away. This bitch decided that she's gonna, I don't know, like flick her bean and not just book her flight for whatever fucking stupid asshole reason. So what resulted from that was, in order to save herself just a measly $75, she ended up booking her ticket to an airport that's 3 hours away. You guys, I'm a reasonable person. And I'm willing to drive 3 hours to get someone if that was truly like the nearest airport, or it was going to save her like $200, but she didn't even ask me about it. She just booked it and was like, oh yeah, so I'm going to be flying into this airline. And I told her, I was like, that is 3 hours away from where we're at. That's asking a lot. And not only is that a lot of gas, but that's a lot of time. That is a little ridiculous for you to assume that I would have just been okay with doing this, because like, how much did that even save you? And why didn't you just get the original tickets that we had discussed? She was like, well, it's a whole $75 and, you know, like, I'm trying to save money right now and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like if you're that hard pressed for cash, then maybe you shouldn't be taking the vacation in the first place, but whatever. So I let it go. Andrew was like, you know, it's fine. We'll make like a day trip out of it. We'll drive the 3 hours there. We'll maybe go out to eat in that city, and then we'll drive the fucking 3 hours back. So yeah, 6 hours in the car. And again, keep in mind, basically it's a total of 12 hours, because we drove there to get her 3 hours, drove back to town 3 hours, then drove the fucking 3 hours to drop her ass off, and then the 3 hours back to town after dropping her off when she left. So we drove a total of 12 hours, and that's just for like the plane related traveling. So you can already see it didn't start out super great, but you know, Andrew was really gracious, and he was like, you know, she's a good friend of yours and she's struggling and she really needs this trip. It's the least that we can really do so that she can kind of escape everything that's going on in her life. Fine, Andrew, I'm with you. I hear you. We'll make it work. And oh, a black blade? What? African American blade to you, game? Stop being so rude. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move him there. I just wanted to take out that chest so that I could actually get where I needed to be, and I don't think I'm going to be able to reach. Haresh might have to be the one to get the last bits of damage off, but just in case, we'll just go ahead and open some other things here just to see what goodies await us. And we got Sash of Strength. Oh, that sounds amazing. So anyway, okay. She books the flight. I don't make a big deal out of it. I'm like, whatever. We'll come get you. So we drive, we pick her up, and, you know, the drive there was fine. Like, Andrew and I talked, we had a good time. Picking her up was fine. We caught up on a lot of things. It was a good, I think that first day was good. We hung out, it was great. So the next day, she kind of acted like an asshole, and she had like this huge list of things that she wanted to do, which again is fine. Like, I told her, you know, if you come, I don't know if you're more like me, where you're a leisurely vacationer and you just want to take it day by day and see, you know, what you feel like doing, or maybe having like 3 general things you want to get accomplished over the course of the week, but you don't care what particular day it happens. Like, I know some people are not that way, and they like to have something planned for every single day. I've mentioned this to you guys before. That's not me. That shit gets on my fucking nerves, because I take vacations to escape from rigorous scheduling and a bunch of commitments. So I don't see the value in people structuring their vacations that way, but some people, you know, they like the thrill of a trip, and they like the thrill of seeing and experiencing new things, so they get bored easily. Okay, I get it. Fine, whatever. So she comes day number 2 and gives me like this long laundry list of all the stuff she wants to do, all of which are not even in the area where we're at. So everything requires at least an hour and a half of driving, or it requires quite, I wouldn't say a super expensive fee to participate in. So for example, she wanted us to go and do this like cave tour thing that's like 2 hours from where we're at. There are other ones like that are closer to here, that are like 30, 45 minutes away. But this one is kind of known for having a whole lot of shit to it. And just anyway, so not only was she wanting us to drive again, there and back, but she was also expecting us to pay for everything. Again, I was like, I'll do this for you. Like, we kind of sifted through the list and I picked out myself. I was like, I am not going to be comfortable with doing all of this shit every single day. And hold on. Let's look at the descriptions for these before I get too lost in thought here. So we got a black blade, once owned by a demon lord, traps the enemy in the realm of darkness. Does this actually have the spell effect of doing that? I don't know what to take seriously and what not to. And then we got a sash of strength. Increases HP and exposes your dormant strength. You also become quarrelsome and pyromaniacal. Pyromania is when you're obsessed with fire, right? So does that mean I gain access to fire abilities? Hold on. Fuck Luke. We're going to put him on pause. I need to see what the fuck does this do. Are these chaotic items to be giving to people? I'm so confused. I like the boost that you get from all of this, but what is this doing? So HR is 127 and defense was 69. I don't know. Should I do this? I don't know, you guys. This is so hard to say. I don't like the description for this. It sounds, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it doesn't sound good. What does my glass mask do? So 69 and then MD. I guess we could. It seems like this would make sense as an increase to what the glass mask gives you. But I don't know. Maybe the descriptions are just there to make you feel uneasy, but they're not really going to bear any impact. So we are going to see a loss, I think, of a total of 10 here. Yep, from 102 to 92 for MD, but HP does go up considerably and AV goes up just a little bit, 5 points there, from 57 to 62. So I'm going to put the Sash of Strength on Raj in exchange for the glass mask. And does he have a glass mask? No, he's got a beret. And I don't really recall what the beret does. My bad. Oh God, I don't have anything equal to it. Well, I think this is fine for what it says and what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. I think this is okay. And if it's not okay, long term, I have the ability to just switch things out, right? So it's not that imminent that I make the decision. I don't feel like it's really going to be an issue long term. All right, but what I do need to figure out is, do I want to use this black blade here? So attack goes up considerably at the cost of 10. MD, what could that stand for? But speed goes down again. Like, what? I mean, oh God, whatever. Let's just fucking try it. I'm all about the new experiences, you guys. But okay, let me quickly wrap up, I guess. Oh God, I don't want this story to take forever. So I guess the long story short of it is, she came here, she acted like an asshole by making us drive a total of 12 hours for just the airline trips. She had a laundry list of things that she wanted to do, none of which were local, all of which required a lot more gas, a lot more wear on my car, a lot more time, and they were all expensive. Like, she didn't just want a day of I think she did have maybe 1 or 2 days where she was like, yeah, I just want to go hiking. But it was like she coupled those types of activities with things that cost money. Every time we went out to eat, so Andrew and I wouldn't say we're frugal, but when we go out to eat, we buy things that are affordable. Like, we're not going to spend $20 on a meal unless we're celebrating something. Literally every single night that we went out to dinner for the full week she was here, I would order something that's $9. Andrew would get something that's $9 or $10. I'm not even exaggerating. She would order things that were $20, $25 because, again, she was on one of her stupid asshole diets that she never commits to beyond a couple of weeks. I don't understand why she does so much of this. But anyway, so she would order things like salmon, but it was a specific type of style, and the cuisine, even if we would go someplace like to order like Mexican food, which Tex-Mex is not that expensive at all. Like you can get a whole lot of food for like $10 a plate or $11 a plate. She would order like a $17 dish and then would order like an expensive drink, and then on top of it she would want like appetizers that she wouldn't even eat, and she was so wasteful because she couldn't eat half of the stuff that would come out on the plate, like if it came with tortillas or if there was rice or if there was something she didn't like one night she had ordered fajitas, but she doesn't eat, I think she said she doesn't eat onions or she doesn't like onions. I don't even remember. So she literally just picked the meat out of this like $17, $18 dish and then threw away like 60% of it. And I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not going to be eating that. And I don't want to make Andrew like pick off her plate. That's so ratchet. And anyway, again, I'm a generous person. I was fine covering her meals, but I felt like her lack of awareness and her lack of gratitude for the time, the fucking money that I invested into her coming here. Like I spent more money on her vacation than she did because she was using pay time off, so she wasn't losing money from work for this. She did have to pay for the tickets to come here, but the cost for her round trip to North Carolina to see me and back to Wisconsin, I think the total was like, I think she said it was like two something, like $250, maybe $220. So, not cheap, but not that expensive. I spent like $450 on her between, again, the gas to be driving her everywhere, the groceries that we bought for her, half of which she didn't eat, again, all of the stuff that I paid for us to do, like when we did the cave tour and we went whitewater rafting and we did like a tour of like a garden and just a bunch of little things that add up as well. If it's like $20 per person, like those sorts of things. I spent close to $450 on her at the end of the week. And I think what also just made it so absurd was that she rarely said thank you. Like she didn't say thank you when I would buy her dinner. And one night Andrew actually cooked for us. I had gotten sick because my period had started. I know, y'all, I'm finishing the story, so we're not talking about this in episode 16. So grab your tea. We're almost done, I promise. So anyway, Andrew had made some food for us. I had started my period and I got really sick. And so I was just incapacitated for the rest of the day. And she was mad because that evening we were planning on going, I don't remember if there was a festival that was a town that was like 30 minutes from here or something. And she was wanting us to go and like pay the entrance fee to like participate in some of the stuff. And it was like the last day. I can't remember everything that was going on, but I got very sick. Like I had thrown up, I was having diarrhea because my period is just very erratic because I have PCOS. And when it comes, like sometimes I just get very ill, probably TMI, but I'm just giving you context again, that I wasn't just being a bitch. It wasn't like I was just stressed or annoyed and I didn't want to go. I was physically ill and couldn't go. And I didn't think it was fair to expect Andrew to take my friend, and she wouldn't have even enjoyed herself with him. But anyway, so I wasn't able to do that evening activity, but this was after we had already spent most of the day doing things. Like it was like 4:00, and I think the event started at 3 that day, but we had just gotten back like an hour earlier from doing something else. So anyway, I told her like, I'm so sorry. We're gonna just have to have a laid back evening. If you want, Andrew, maybe you can go get a Red Box and you guys can watch some movies, and then I'm going to bed. I don't feel well, and we're not going out to eat because I am sick. We can cook at home. Like we spent $100 buying special keto friendly groceries that I can't eat. Like I'm not going to eat all this fucking bacon and beef and chicken that we bought for you that you didn't want to cook, and you don't want to eat it when Andrew cooks it. So anyway, Andrew ended up being so nice, and he made like 3 different meals basically. Well, I guess it's more like 2.5. He made something specifically keto friendly for her. He made a vegetarian meal for like the 2 of us, but then he also like added extra stuff to his because Andrew is not a vegetarian. So he basically did like 2.5 meals. And this bitch was like actually angry about the fact that we didn't go to the festival and that we didn't take her out to eat or we didn't order out. And she was just very ungrateful. She only ate half of that meal that Andrew took like 45 minutes to cook for everyone. And then she ended up just going to bed early and like didn't talk to us the rest of the night. It just was like, out of control. So anyway, by the time she left, when we dropped her off, like we were barely talking for the 3 hours to take her to the airport. It was so uncomfortable and awkward. But then as soon as we dropped her off, like an hour into Andrew and me driving back home, she texts me, like she was boarding her flight, and she was like, I'm just curious, like after this trip, do you really, or she said something like, do you really think that I could just come back whenever I want? I can see myself wanting another vacation this winter. And I almost wanted to be like, you've got to be out of your mind. You're still not even thanking me for everything, but what you're basically saying is you enjoyed me buying a bunch of shit for you, letting you stay in a nice part of North Carolina for free. You literally only paid for your ticket. So for $200 plus some change, like it just was out of control, you guys. I can't even talk about this anymore. But anyway, that is it for story time. I will maybe be able to give you more deets as we continue onward, but I just am not in the headspace. It triggers me so much. But when we do come back together in episode number 16, we will be heading into the second floor. I'm actually debating if I want to go back. So that's why I was kind of hopping through status screens and looking at some things. We've got so much extra equipment, so many extra items that I almost feel like I need to be going back to sell things and maybe to be seeing if the shops have populated with new wares. But I think it was stated by either Mouse or Nicole that everyone's gone due to the rebellion that's going on and the general chaos that's ensuing here in Ghost Kingdom. So I don't know. I will kind of figure that out on my own, and I will just catch you up to speed if I do decide to go back to town between this episode and our upcoming video. So until then, everyone, take care, be good, and I, your host Rabbit, will see you very shortly in episode number 16 of our semi-blind playthrough through Eternal Eyes for the PlayStation 1. So I'll see you in a bit, everyone.